Thank you for joining On Air. Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. I hope all is well. Today is Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. So happy Tuesday to everyone. It's Taco Tuesday. Yes, I'm ready for my tacos today, and I'm going to do some mushroom tofu, with seasonings and jalapenos cooked in there and everything. But the mushrooms are the king mushrooms, or I like to call them trumpet mushrooms. I think that's the nickname for them because they look like trumpets. So that should be, well, that should be. It's going to be good, right? And it's going to be fun. So it's going to be tasty. So that's what we want. We always want tasty mushrooms. So but yeah, so tacos are going to be great. The tofu adds a little texture to it. But you know what? I don't need the tofu, but I just go ahead and go ahead and throw it in there anyway. But anyway, it does taste good. But thank you, Lonnie Wolf. Lonnie Wolf is in the house. Congrats on the Oscar for, what does it say? I'm sorry. I can't even see it. My glasses. I'm sorry. Lonnie's making a comment, and he said congrats on the Oscar from someone, and I can't see it. I'm sorry, Lonnie. But you can hear me okay, Lonnie? I just quick video and sound check for you. Can you just let me know that you can see me and hear me okay? Because I'm actually trying to Oh, there it is. Okay, I see it now. Okay, so thank you. But you don't have to tell me now. I think I'm okay. If you can hear me and you can see me, that's great. But hey, today is show number 154 on air with Russell of Hotels. We're live in LA. It's about, I don't know, it's about 70 degrees today. It's pretty sunny today. It's cool in the morning, but about this time I guess about 70 degrees. I was out a little while ago shooting some baskets. What I do around noon. I take a break from what I'm doing and kind of go out and shoot some baskets and stuff like that, just to get some exercise in and to feel the warmth of the sun, right? So I did that a little earlier today, and yeah, it was nice. It was nice. So I have to get a video to you guys, and me shooting baskets. You may think it's hilarious. I don't know, but most people would be like, dang, he has it, or he still got it. That's what most people will probably say, that, right? But anyway, speaking of basketball, congratulations to University of Kansas for winning the championship last night. They beat North Carolina Tar Heels, which I was kind of pulling for. And who blows a 16-point lead at halftime? I don't know, but North Carolina did. but Kansas by far was a better team. I don't know what was going on in the first half of that game, but Kansas by far was the better team, and you can see that in the second half. But anyway, no, it was a great tournament, and the women's tournament was just as good. I'm not sure if you guys even watched either tournament, but the women's tournament where South Carolina won, that was a good tournament too. So I just like basketball. So watch basketball and football. College more than the pros on the basketball thing, but anyway, I'm sitting here adjusting my shirt here, and I don't know why, but anyway, let's get to it. I'm sitting here rambling. Let's get to it. But Lonnie Wolf says yes. Thank you so much. Okay, Lonnie, I can see your comments. I encourage comments. That's what On Air with Russell of Hotels is about. It's about making your comments. I'm gonna address them, even if I'm talking about something on my agenda here. If you have comments, you go ahead and make them, and I'll make sure I bring them on there. The worst case scenario, you're gonna get, you're gonna get a shout out, right? So, you can just say, hey, from, like Lonnie Wolf always announces herself, and of course I'm gonna mention Lonnie or acknowledge Lonnie Wolf. So, but I thank him for being on here. Let me just say this before we move forward. We are live on YouTube, right? So this is the second week in a row that I've been live on YouTube. Then I'll post this on LinkedIn as well. So don't be discouraged, LinkedIn people. I haven't given up on you. I will still post this on there after this is over. I'm just trying out some things, and this may be my new home. I don't know, but probably for the next several months it will be. And I'll explain some stuff as I get further down in the show about what happened last week with my numbers, with the numbers I posted from my video or the show from last week. But we are a podcast as well, so when this is done, it becomes a podcast as well. Just like I will post this onto LinkedIn, I will also upload it onto, I guess it goes to Spotify, Google Podcast, things like that. So wherever you listen to your favorite podcast, you can find On Air with Russell of Hotels, because I take those necessary steps to make sure that if you want to see me, that's fine. You can do that on LinkedIn. You can do that on YouTube. You can do it on Facebook and Twitter. But if you want to just hear me, you're just like, you know what? I don't feel like seeing this dude. I like what he's saying, but I don't like what he's wearing today. I don't like those glasses he has on. So I just want to listen to him. So just listen, you can check it out on your favorite podcast, and there you go. So like I said, today is Tuesday, April 5th, 2022. I said 22nd. I'm looking at the year, right? Connecting people in collaboration. Hashtag Hospitality Unplugged, which means we talk about the good and bad of hospitality industry. Mostly good, but as Lonnie could attest to, there's some bad out there. There's some stuff that's out there. Lonnie, and I encourage you to follow Lonnie on LinkedIn, Lonnie Wolf. He posts some good stuff. I mean, some stuff that we need to take notice of, specifically in the housekeeping area or arena, because he is a housekeeping expert, and he posts things that we need to pay attention to, like that back of the house stuff. It's back of the house stuff, front of the house stuff. You guys know what I'm talking about. Back of the house is, should be employee only areas, but it should be just as clean as the front of the house where the guest areas are, right? Because we take pride in not just the guests, but we should take pride in our employees first, right? Take pride in their safety, their security, and that they actually come to work and they, want to provide a service for us. And of course, we do pay them, but we have to take care of people as well, right? So it doesn't matter if it's the front of the house, back of the house, outside, it doesn't matter. We still should, maintain a certain level of cleanliness. Things need to be in repair. We don't need towels or rags around broken or leaky faucets and things like that in public areas or any area, back of the house. So he posts things like that make you think like, wow, I've seen that before. Because I used to be I'm a former housekeeping manager, like some of you know. So it resonates with me, and I cringe when I see stuff like that, because it goes back to my days of, being a housekeeping manager, where, that would have been, there's no way some of this stuff would have happened. And I know it wouldn't have happened, because you just can't do that. There's certain things you shouldn't do, certain things you shouldn't neglect. But anyway, so please follow Lonnie Wolf on LinkedIn, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, because Lonnie's the real deal. Lonnie's the truth, okay? So there you go. But it's all about, like I said, connecting and collaboration. And I never would have found Lonnie without connecting on LinkedIn and collaborating with him on my show later. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about. See, people, they sleep on this whole, I'm not saying everybody, but they sleep on the whole social media piece. especially when it comes to your business and things like that. And I think that is not the way to do it. You should embrace it. And because, like I said, I'm making great connections and great collaborations with people that I meet on social media. Okay, Lonnie Wolf is one of them. Dylan Beaumont, who's a GM at the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon, is another one, right? So those are people that I connect with, and I would only connect with them here. Okay, and that was, if it wasn't for here, I don't know where the heck I wouldn't know them. Let's just throw it out there. Okay, so Dylan says, afternoon, Lonnie and Russell. Good appearance with Paula. Russell, I appreciate that Lonnie called out hotels to keep their first aid supply stocked. Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. Lonnie, yes, you definitely should. I mean, thank you so much for doing that, because first aid kits should be stocked, right? They should be stocked at all times. And they should be, because a lot of things stocked and making sure that, the things haven't expired. Because sometimes, we go through those things and we see that things are expired. Like, well, who wants to use, you're going to give this to someone, whatever it is. It can be aspirin, I mean, it can be, I don't know, whatever it's in the Band-Aids. I mean, they expire too. They don't, they don't have a shelf life of forever. You know what I mean? Although you don't eat them, they don't perish, but they do come in disrepair, or they tear or whatever easily. So make sure they're fresh, right? They do become stale. Band-Aids do become stale. Gauze changes colors. Gauze is that white, but sometimes it can be a yellow, which means it's not good anymore. Maybe something that's antiseptic in there, that it does expire as well. So make sure those things are up to date. So thank you so much, Dylan, for bringing that up. Lonnie says cleanliness, safety, and presentation wins, to include exterior of the property, visibility of cleaning within the guest. Love. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Okay. So there you go. See, that's what it's all about. That whole old term, iron sharpens iron. Dylan brought something up. I made a comment on it. Lonnie, brings something up too. So we can only get stronger if there's people that are here to assist you, right? You know what I mean? So we shouldn't be afraid to ask for help. And last week I had mentioned that back in the day, we used to have these extra set of eyes that would come in. We called it, what do we call it? Gosh, I forgot already. Fresh eyes. Okay, so meaning a GM from another property would come in and kind of look at your property, do a walkthrough with you, just in case you're missing some things, because sometimes we get so used to seeing the same things over and over again. We get so used to our properties that we think, oh, everything is clean, everything is in place, everything is in order. But then it takes someone from the outside that hasn't seen your property before, with fresh eyes, comes in, walks the same path that you've been walking, and is pointing out things that you have neglected or you didn't see because you got so used to seeing it all the time. So it's okay to have a fresh set of eyes come in and do a walkthrough with you. It's okay. I used to do that when we did that it was with that's when I was with Interstate, which Interstate is now Aimbridge. I took that to other properties. So when I left Interstate Hotels, I still incorporated that, and I said, you know what, so and so Lonnie, let's just say a GM that from the area who worked for the same management company as I did, was in the same area that I was. I said, hey Lonnie, could you come over and do a walkthrough with me? And he's like, why? I said, because I just need a fresh set of eyes to look at my property to make sure I'm not, missing out on anything. Light bulbs may be out, and it's the same light bulb that's been out, but I haven't noticed it, right? So it's just another way to make sure that things are in order for your guest or your employees. So there you go. Fresh eyes. You heard that here on air with Russell of Hotels. And thanks for the shout out. Yeah, of course. Okay. See, I get caught up on, just the comments, and I can do a show just on comments. You know what? Maybe one show I'll just address the comments and just keep going, keep it rolling, right? So, but anyway, I guess I need to start clicking on this thing here, right? Maybe if I click on there, I'll know what the next thing I need to talk about. Industry stuff. Now, last week I changed this. It used to be, what did it used to be? Industry subjects. I don't remember what it was, but now it's just stuff, like stuff in the industry. What am I going to talk about? I don't know, but let me just get to that. Industry stuff. I can't even see. I have these glasses on. I still can't see. MPI hosting Global Meetings Industry Day on April 7th, which is on Thursday. MPI hosting Global or GMID. I mean, you know the acronyms, but it's Global Meetings Industry Day. It's actually this Thursday here in LA. This is the Southern California chapter of MPI, which stands for Meeting Professionals International. It's going to be from 6 to 9 p.m. at 2-Bit Circus, and that's in downtown LA. It's like for the lack of a better term, an adult Chuck E. Cheese, right? Yeah. They got video games. They're like the OG arcade games. They have virtual games, AI. I mean, they have all that kind of stuff, right? It was a lot of fun, big fun. Okay, so I would encourage, if you've never been there and you're part of MPI, or maybe you're not part of MPI, you can still go. You just have to contact them and let them know you want to go. And there's a charge to go, but just go to MPI. Yeah, they have a Facebook page. You can go MPI Southern California chapter and find it, or just Google MPI Southern California chapter, and you'll find all the information. But what I know, it's the Global Meetings Industry Day is April 7th, 6 to 9 p.m. at the 2-Bit Circus, which is downtown LA. Last week I was at the Hoxton Hotel. That's Hoxton. It's one of those. It's been around. I guess it's been there for several years, but I've never been there. I want to say maybe 2017, 18ish, somewhere around there. But I'd never been there, right? So they had a kind of a reception there for some meeting professionals or whatever. My CVV contact was there as well, and I got to see her. Hadn't seen her, and she got laid off, so I hadn't seen her. But they brought her back. LA Tourism brought her back, so that was great to see. To see her there. I'm sorry, Tiffany Dang. I'm sorry. And then people are like, well, who the heck are you talking about? Who'd you see? Tiffany Dang. I saw her. So, but it's good to see her, and then to find out what market she's handling and all that kind of stuff. So that was cool. So the hotel's downtown LA, 174 rooms, built in the 20s, has 2 restaurants. One they're going to redo, and then 2 bars, right? And they have coffee bar, and they encourage people to come in if you're non-guest, right? Say people, because I do this all the time, right? So I office sometimes out of hotel lobbies, and it's not that they don't want you there, but at the Hoxton, they encourage you to do that, right? They want you to come in and work and whip out your laptop and start working, because you know what, the more people you see, doesn't that attract other people? You know what I mean? That's the thing that, some hotels, they don't want people in the lobby. I'm like, why don't you want people in the lobby? Don't you want to look like you're full? Or, even if these people are not guests, they don't know that, right? So I would say the more people, the merrier, right? Because the more people that are there, the more likely, maybe they're not going to stay there at this time, but the likelihood of them recommending that hotel, I think that goes up a little, several notches, right? And what about coffee? Maybe I'm a coffee drinker. You have a coffee shop. I'm more likely to do that, more likely to eat breakfast or lunch or anything like that. You know what I mean? So why not encourage people to? But they made it a point to do that. Most hotels don't make it a point to say, hey, we encourage, you to come in, bring your laptop, office out of our lobby if that's what you want. I mean, they have ample space all over the hotel to do that. So Hoxton Hotel, thank you so much. And I will be back there to office out of there at a later date. Okay. And I'll post. See, that's the thing with me. I go and I post things about my experience, or just, create some content around that particular hotel lobby or whatever it is. And if you go to my social media pages now, you go to Instagram, you go to LinkedIn, and you'll see that I posted things about the Hoxton Hotel starting last Thursday, because that's when the event was. So Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I probably posted things 3 or 4 days after that. So that's what I do, because I'm Russell Hotel, so that's what I do. Let's see. Someone said something. Dylan, I've seen promo for hotels in Reno, Vegas, and of course Nicaragua. Where will you travel to next? Me? The next, I'm actually, that's a good question. I want to say Denver. There's something going on in Denver, and then I go to Phoenix after that. So these are all West Coast trips for me because I have a couple meetings that are coming up. Yeah, so for me, it will be good question, and it made me think because thank you for saying that because I do have to finish my registration for the trip that I'm taking to Denver. So hopefully, I get accepted, right? So as a meeting planner, meeting professional, you get invited to these. You get invited to attend these, I guess, mini meetings or conventions or they're networking events that where you get to meet the suppliers, and suppliers are hotels or convention and visitors bureaus or tourism boards or however you want to, whatever name you want, DMOs, whatever name or acronym you know them by. We get invited to go to those. I do hotel site selection, so which means I go and check out hotels, and then I refer these hotels to, when my clients need hotels, they call me, right? When they need a hotel for a meeting or convention, conference, or whatever, retreats, they contact me and they say, hey, I'm going to Denver. Do you know of any hotels in Denver? Well, okay, now my job is to, well, do you want me to, do an RFP, things like that? My job is to generate an RFP on behalf of the hotel or on behalf of my client and submit that to the hotels, right? So it behooves us, hotel site selection people, meeting planners or meeting professionals, to go and experience, these particular conferences that they have for us, right? So I think this was Destination West Coast or something like that I'm going to be attending in Denver. So you'll go and they will take care of your flight and all that stuff, but you have to apply for it, right? Meaning they want to make sure you have meetings. They don't want just anyone to come, right? So you have to fill out this application. It's an application process. I have X amount of meetings for this year, and then they want to know exactly which meetings are on your books now. Like I have probably 6 right now between now and the end of the year. 2 of them are international, right? So I'll put, the current ones are the most, the ones that are that they're looking for. I put those there, and it's up to them to follow up and say, okay, all right, we'll approve you or deny you. I've been denied before. I don't get to go to all of them. I do get my share of denials for whatever reason, and that's fine as long as I'm told up front that, okay, hey, thanks, but no thanks. But yeah, so my next trip will be Denver, and that will be, in fact, I was just writing it on my calendar right here, and because I need a visual calendar as well as the virtual calendar in my phone. So it's Destination West. It's in Denver, Colorado. It's from it's May 5th through the 7th. So I plan on being in Denver May 5th through the 7th for Destination West, and then from there I go to Phoenix for a meeting, and then and then I'll be back here, and then I have something else in July, and there may be some other things that pop up too. And then Lonnie says, fantastic, it makes for nice Instagram views. Yes, it does. And then Lonnie says, I am heading to Toronto, Ontario, Canada in a couple of weeks for business. Very good. All right. I love, you know what? Have I been to Toronto? If I've been to Toronto, it's been a while. But I've definitely been to Calgary, Vancouver, Edmonton. What's the other one? There's another one I've been to. Starts with an M. What is it called? Starts with an M. Gosh, why can't I think? Montreal. Montreal. I love Montreal. And excuse me while I take a drink of water. So yeah, Canada's cool. I love Canada. Okay, where am I now? So I went off the rails here, okay? So that was industry stuff. Oh, I did ask a question last week. I said, what was the question from last week was, what is the Greene book? Okay, I don't know if I have time to wait for answers. I'm not sure if you guys did your homework or not. But anyway, the Greene book was okay. I'll just tell you that. Give you a little history. It was published from 1936 to 1967. It's a travel guide of safe hotels, restaurants, gas stations, and more services for African Americans. Okay, so I'll give you a little history. Okay, I know it's not Black History Month, and that's okay, but the host of the show is black, so he's going to talk about it, right? So, so a little history about it. Okay, back in the day, okay, but between 36 and 1967, it was unsafe for Black Americans to travel in certain states. Primarily the southern states, right? So it was not safe to do that. Although if you're going to see your family, things like that, well, sometimes travel could not be helped. So we did that, right? But there was a book put out by a gentleman by the name of Victor Hugo Greene. He put this book out because he did his research. It's kind of like TripAdvisor, but back in the day, okay? So he was the original, not the original, because there's other kind of books for other races of people that did this at the same time, right? But I'm only speaking right now of African Americans, right? So Victor Hugo Greene, who was a postal worker out of Harlem, okay, came up with this book because he knew how unsafe it was in certain areas of the country for African Americans to travel. So he came up with a book for hotels, for restaurants where they can go and eat, for gas stations where they can get gas, because believe it or not, they were turned down for gas. They were turned down for lodging, as well as for food and the other services too. But I'm only going to highlight, I'm just talking about looking for safe. It was a guide for safe hotels, safe restaurants, and safe gas stations. Okay, so there you go. So Victor Hugo Greene came up with the Green Book. You can just Google, if you don't believe me, just Google the Green Book, and it will come up with all this information about what the Green Book was. There's actually if I'm not mistaken, there's a movie called The Green Book a couple years ago, right? And it kind of highlighted those things as well. Okay, it was about a jazz musician, right? But yeah, check that out. That was actually a good movie. I think it won something too. And also there's a new Green Book that's out. So just if you're on Instagram, go at Green Book Global. Okay, and a gentleman by the name of Lawrence Phillips, he developed this new one, right? New and improved one, and this is more international, right? So yeah, so those are things, and this is American history, okay? It's not just African American or Black history. This is American history because we're Americans, okay? We're all Americans here, right? So there you go. So I just want to put that out there. So I gave you guys homework. You didn't, follow up on it, but that's okay because I'm gonna give you information anyway. So anyway, let's see the comments. Pretty nice compliment to be seen as lodging. That guests feel safe out. Yes, Dylan. There's also a young man recreating it now. Yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the young man is Lawrence Phillips. If I'm not mistaken, it could be someone else, but it could be. And then Lonnie says, Green Book is about hospitality for African American travel, dining to include all traveling and accommodations. Yes, Lonnie, thank you very much. Appreciate it. See, Lonnie knows and Dylan knows what I'm talking about. So there you go. So just a little information, a little history as it relates to hospitality, right? So this is all hospitality driven. Okay, what's next? You guys know my, and I'm not playing any music today, so people that are on the podcast, I'm sorry. I'm not playing any music, but I am showing the kind of my sponsor for the hotel in Nicaragua, which is called the Agua Resort Nicaragua. So check that hotel out. I actually booked something. Did I mention that? I booked a group of 30 people, or 30 couples that are going to this property next November. So November of 23, they're going to go and check out this particular hotel. And of course, they're offering that Russell of Hotels rate. So please feel free to use that RH10 code for that Russell of Hotels rate. Okay, see, there you go. Hey, thank you to Paula, and I hate butchering people's names, but Paula C has a podcast. It's called Hotel Cast. Like I said, I don't want to mispronounce your name, Paula, your last name, but it's called Hotel Cast, right? So Paula was gracious enough to invite me on to her podcast, and we had a great time. And it's out. The reason why I'm mentioning it today is that it came out today. And I don't like listening to my own podcast, but I love listening when I'm a guest on someone else's podcast. When I have a guest on mine, I like to listen. But just me, like this one right here, I probably won't listen to this, okay? Um, but Paula's, I'm going to listen to later. I just saw that it just came out. Thank you so much, Paula. Paula's a global top 20 hospitality executive to watch in 2022. She's a global top 25 social media influencer of 2021. She's a global top 50 hospitality influencers of 2021 as well. So she has all these accolades. So it was my pleasure to be on her show. She had great questions, and I just loved it. So Paula, thank you so much. I do appreciate you invite me on the show. Lonnie's already made comments. He's already listened to it, and he's made some great comments. I think Dylan listened to it as well, if I'm not mistaken. But I know Lonnie did because I did see his comments because I did comment on his comments. So, but thank you so much, Paula. Once again, thank you so much. And Carreriano, I say that's why I don't want and I'm normally good, but I just for some reason I'm at a loss for how to pronounce your last name. So please forgive me. But thank you again, Paula. I do appreciate you. And if you guys get a chance to listen, it's called Hotel Cast. I'm gonna put it on my LinkedIn page today. I'll what do you call it? Copy it and put it on my page. But it's out there now, so it's under Paula's. And then Hotel Cast is the name of her show. So once again, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be on someone else's show. But Paula is, like I said, she made it so easy. In fact, we were originally supposed to do this we had to reschedule like 2 or 3 times, and she was so gracious about it because I got caught up and I had double booked something or whatever, or something came up, and she's like, "Oh, no problem. Just let me know when you're ready, and will this day work? Will that day work?" And we worked it out. But anyway, thank you again, Paula. See, I'm rambling. See, I ramble about everything. So Paula, thank you again. Okay, Lonnie says, let's see. Paula was rocking today. Lonnie's something else. Okay, these are things that I talk about every week. Be intentional. These are things for me, but please feel free to use them for you as well. Being intentional, make decisions, and take action on what's important to you. Like saying that, mentioning the Greene book. I mean, that stuff is important to me, but it's important to me that people know that there's history out there, right? Because in order for me to move forward, I got to know what my history is, right? You know what I mean? You can't know your history unless you know your past, right? You don't know where you're going unless you know what your history is, right? And history's in the past, right? So that's how I look at things, especially these days, right? So I'm intentional. I want to be intentional. I want to make decisions and take action on what's important to me. Okay. Number 2, be you. Don't be afraid to be you. Okay. So there you go. I mean, I'm just going to leave it at that. Be you. Be authentic. I come on this show and I'm not trying to be someone else. There's many other people that do hospitality talk shows or podcasts or whatever the heck you want to call them. But that's them. I mean, this is me. I'm being me. I'm not trying to be some of these other people. In fact, I applaud those other people for doing their shows. But I do my show the way I do my show, and we keep it moving. So just be you. So whatever you're doing, be authentic. Be your true self. Okay. Number 3, be represented because my representation matters. Okay. It's important to me that I do this show, that I do what I do, that I consult with hotels, and that people know that they know what they're getting, right? They know it's me. They know what I look like. I don't have a problem with showing my face. I don't have a problem with doing lives, doing a podcast where you can see me, because hopefully you see past what I look like, right? And you just concentrate on what I'm talking about or how I can help someone. and that's the ultimate goal, right? But I just need to let people that look like me know that they can do this too. They can have a podcast. They can have a talk show. They can be a hotel veteran, of 14 different hotels or 25 to 30 years experience, whatever the heck it is. Okay, they can do it. I just don't want people to say, "Oh, well, I can't do it because I don't see anybody that looks like me that has done it." Well, you can't say that in this space because there you go. Here I am. And it's funny I should even say that because when I first started, before I started in hotels, when I was in college, right? One of the main reasons why I chose the major that I chose, which was hospitality or hotel, restaurant, travel management is what it was called then, because there's only two other people that looked like me in the entire major at that time, right? I was the third. Okay, so out of hundreds of people, there was three, right? So I said, you know what? I'm gonna stick. And plus, I like the content of what was going on. I love, the hotel part of it. And I learned so much, and you learn about people too. So there you go. So that's one of the reasons why I chose the hospitality industry. So there you go. Let's see. Let me see some comments. I appreciate conversations like the Greene book. We need to remember that those days were not so long ago as we think, and making travelers safe is still important today. Yes, you are absolutely right, Dylan. Yeah, it's important. Yeah, and yeah, we think that it's all safe. Well, there's still incidents or issues that are going on now, and we want to make it safe for everyone. For everyone, right? I mean, no one should be denied this or denied that. No one should be taken advantage of. No one should be harmed because they want to stay somewhere. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's important that these conversations happen, and they will happen. There you go. So thank you so much. I appreciate your comments. And then I just lead into this, right? Davon Reeves, How to Buy a Hotel. Davon Reeves owns 3 hotels, African American lady, but she's teaching everybody how to buy a hotel, which when I was coming up, I'm just as early as 2017, I don't remember everyone saying like, hey, this is a blueprint to buying a hotel. I work with management companies, work with owners, not once, and you try to ask questions like, how did you buy the hotel? Well, a lot of them came from money, right? I hate to say it, but a lot of them came from money. So it was probably no big deal for them to buy a hotel. They just had to, have the nerve to do it, I guess, right? Well, for everyone else, it's not like that. But you can come up with a group of investors to buy hotels, right? And that's what Miss Davon Reeves teaches people. It's a step process on how to do it. In fact, I just had a conversation with someone 2 days ago about some of the findings that from reading her book and things like that. And people are like astonished, like, really? It's not that it's simple because there's steps to do it and you have to complete those steps, but it's so, I guess the outline is simple, right? Okay, do this, amass your team, look at hotels, and then the last one is, of course, getting funding and things like that, and knowing what your in or your out is before you even get in, right? Like, I want to invest, but do I want to invest for the next, 5 to 10 years? Do I just want to get the hotel, get my money out? Because your investors, your fellow investors, they would want to know that, right? So if it's 10 of us going in to buy this hotel, the other 9 want to know what the heck you're going to do. What is your plan? Just like they want to know everyone else's plan as well, right? Like, okay, I'm in it for the long haul because we're going to hold it. Say the main plan is to hold it for 5 to 7 years and then sell it, right? Well, then maybe my plan is like, no, once we get it 3 years, I want to be out. I want you guys to pay me out, or maybe I want to get paid monthly or whatever. Or maybe I don't want to sell in 5 to 7 years. Maybe I want to hold it forever. Well, maybe this ain't the right investment for you. But, it just depends. But this book teaches you step by step on how to do things. So it's called How to Buy a Hotel, like you see, a roadmap to hotel ownership. How simple does that even sound, right? But anyway, like I said, I've worked for many management companies. I worked for corporate hotels, ownerships. No one told me anything about this. And I asked, I'm like, well, how does this work? How does that work? I mean, I can see the numbers and all that stuff, as a management company, right? But, I never really got a chance to pick the brain of an owner and say, hey, how did you do this? How do you do that? What does this mean? What does that mean? Because like I said, I can see the numbers on the P&L, but what does that mean to an owner? You know what I mean? So anyway, but check it out. You can Google Davon Reeves and you can find all this information out. So there you go. Who's your best brand advocate? You are your best brand advocate. So if you're not excited about your brand, no one else would be, right? So show some excitement about what you do. If you're the brand, meaning you created this brand and you're an entrepreneur and you do this and you do that. Well, if no one sees that you're excited about doing it, they're going like, well, why would I, want to, affiliate myself or associate myself with him? He says he can do this, but he's not even excited about it. So it's all about the excitement, right? Because people read your excitement or what you do, your enthusiasm and all that kind of stuff. So they read that stuff. So if I'm excited about Russell of Hotels or what I do or what I think or what I know I can bring to the table, well, then that's going to resonate with other people. And they're going to be like, you know what? I want to be associated with that guy, affiliate with him. I want to collaborate with him or whatever. And hopefully that's happened, right? Because I'll tell you this last year, I've probably been a guest on 10 podcasts or hospitality talk shows or just talk shows, right? And that's only because people see me on LinkedIn or YouTube and they see the excitement, right? Let's just say if I wasn't excited, I'm like, yeah, I do this and blah, blah, blah. People don't want that. People want someone that's excited, right? So it goes a long way. So when I say who's your best brand advocate, it is you. It starts with you. We all want brand advocates. And hotels, it kills me that we're afraid to approach our guest and say, hey, because we got all the information in the world on our guests, right? How many times they stay there, if they're a preferred member of they're a loyalty member or whatever. We can have conversations with guests and say, hey, why do you like staying at the hotel? I just like it because I love the brand. I think you guys do a great job. That's who you want to be a brand advocate. It doesn't cost you anything. A brand advocate is someone that doesn't cost you anything. Now, a brand ambassador, don't get those two mixed up. An ambassador is normally someone that's paid to talk about your hotel or your brand, okay? An advocate is someone that, like a guest, an employee, a potential client or a client that just wants to, they love your hotel or they love your brand just because they love your brand, because they love staying there. Maybe it's close to where they need to be. I mean, those are things you can find out. And it's not against the law to ask these people to do things for you. Maybe, hey, I'm going to do a quick live. Could you be a guest on my live just to talk about why you like my hotel? If I saw that on social media, I think I would just die right there, okay? Because all this work that I'm talking about, I'll be complete then. I'll just die. I'm just like, pass out. But we haven't seen it because people don't want to take the chance to talk to people and ask them. There's no law that says you can't talk to your guests and say, hey, why do you like staying here? Or how many times do you actually stay here? Do you have a moment, maybe over coffee or whatever? Yeah. I mean, we go out and try to find business when we should be taking care of the business that's already there, right? I mean, yeah, well, of course, we all got to get new business. I'm not saying that we don't, but it's easier to take care of the business that you do have than to go out and get business that you don't have. I just dropped the mic. Show's over. Bye. But no, anyway. But let's see. Hold on. Let me just check these comments. Have a great evening, Russell. Dylan and all watching meetings he has meetings in 20 minutes. Okay, Lonnie, thank you so much for joining. Lonnie has meetings in 20 minutes, so you got to go, right? So go ahead, Lonnie, and we'll talk to you soon. And thanks for chiming in. I do appreciate that. So just remember, when I say who's your best brand advocate, because I posted things about this, you're the best brand advocate. Okay, so there you go. I just went on a long tangent on things, bro. I'm on a roll today. Can you guys feel me? Can you feel the excitement, the enthusiasm that's going on here? Increase social media engagement. How do you do that? Be consistent. You have to be consistent. I talk about this every week, right? Because I want people to get it, to understand. You can't post things one time and think that, oh, I'm gonna get all this business because I posted, or get mad because you don't get business because, well, I posted 10 times, I should get something. Well, are you getting engagement? Okay, get some engagement. Okay, make sure you're getting engagement. People making comments, you're getting likes, you're getting all these kind of things. If you're not getting that, then there's a big problem, right? But you want to make sure that's happening first. But be consistent. You cannot get business or get your brand out there if you're not consistent. Okay, that's just like putting a billboard up, right? And you think because you put that billboard up one day that all of a sudden you're going to get business from it. No. They may see your brand, right? But it takes them a billboard, I think it was 8 or 9 times for them to drive by it before it really starts to resonate. And then maybe 2 other times before they actually act on it, if they're going to act on it at all. Like I was watching there's this billboard, this is a while back. There was this billboard for, I can't think of the movie, but it was a Netflix video. This right down the street from my house. And I drove by this thing. I drive by it all the time, right? Like every day, right? So that's 7 times, right? If I'm driving by it every day, that's 7 days, right? Well, it finally clicked about day 7, right? And I'm like, oh, that's for that movie. And I can't think of the name of the movie now. And I said, oh, okay. I'm going to check it out and see if it's on Netflix, just to make sure that it was on Netflix, right? So I clicked and it was on Netflix and I watched it, right? So, it just takes time you don't just see things one time and say, oh, okay, I'm going to go buy those sneakers. Oh, I'm going to use Russell of Hotels website, to book something. It takes more times than just once, okay? So consistency is the key. So that billboard was probably up probably at least 30 to 60 days, right? But it took me at least a week, maybe 8 or 9 days for me to actually figure out what that was, to really pay attention and like, oh, okay, I'm going to act on it because that movie sounds interesting. So I actually watched the movie on Netflix, and the rest is history. I just can't tell you what the name of the movie was. But I did see it, and it was good, but I just can't remember. That's crazy, right? So anyway, okay, so increase social media engagement. Consistency is 1. Value is 2. So that movie, it created some value because I wanted to see it, and it was a great movie, okay? But just make sure the social media that you're putting out is adding some value to someone. How do you find those people? You have to do your research and make sure that you are connected, or the right people are in your tribe or your village or the people that follow you, right? Because you can get a lot of followers, but that doesn't mean they're the right people, right? So sometimes you have to purge some people to get to the right people, right? So you can do questions, you can, like on LinkedIn or Instagram, you can do questionnaires, right? You can just ask them like, hey, what do you like? Like, okay, for me, I post things about, of course, hotels, tourism, and non-meat eats. So let's say, hey, do you guys like the hotels, the hotel postings or the food postings? If I did a survey like that and it came back the food pictures or photos, well, I guess I would need to do more of that, right? Yeah, because that's what the people want. Like, say if it was, I polled 100 people and 80 of them said the food. Well, what's that telling me? That's telling me that maybe I need to do more photos about, what I eat on Saturdays, right? Because I do the non-meat eats. I mean, I do non-meat eats all the time, but I go to a new restaurant every Saturday, right? So maybe they want to see more of that. Or maybe they want to see more me do lives in hotels, in hotel lobbies, or throughout hotels. So you have to ask your audience questions, and it's okay to do to poll them, because that's the only way you're going to know exactly if you're creating value, if you're adding value to the right person or the right group of people, right? So there you go. See, I'm adding some value right now, right? And number 3 is authentic. I mentioned this a little while ago. Be yourself, be real. Yes, maybe the viewers just enjoy the entirety of you as a host and a personality. That could be it too. I could ask that question too. What do you like about me? I can poll that question. What do you like about me and my show? And hopefully I don't get crickets, but maybe say, hey, we just like your personality. We don't know what the heck you say, but we just like what you say and the facial expressions and all that stuff, and we think you're kind of funny. Whatever. I just want to see what glasses you're wearing and what shirt you're wearing. Whatever it is, whatever. But you just have to be consistent, create value, be authentic, which means be real. I mean, this is me. If you meet me on the street, after, of course, I'm going to be cordial and I'm probably going to be professional when I first initially meet you. But in about 5 minutes after meeting you, you're going to see the real me, right? That's just it, right? You're just going to see that. Yes, what Dylan says. Stacy Edmond, my brother, says, yes, what Dylan said. Maybe so. Okay. Dylan said, once again, maybe the viewers just enjoy the entirety of you as a host and a person. Hey, I'm all for it. However they want to listen, whatever they want to listen to, that's fine. Because I ain't stopped doing the show. I'm just saying, those are the things that we need to make sure that we're consistent, we're adding value, whatever that is. Now, that's value, though, Dylan. That still is value, right? So they enjoy the entirety of me as a host and a personality. That they get whatever, for whatever reason, that I'm not going to say something, but that may be something they want, right? That they need during this time of day, right? I could be one of those, how, when I used to work on property, right? 3:00, you needed like a pick me up. So I would be eating like a Snickers bar or something like that, something sweet to get me through the next, 2 to 3 hours, right? So maybe during the course of their day, they're like, you know what, I'm listening to Russell because he'll give me a pick me up, or he's gonna make me laugh, or he's gonna give me some information I didn't know, or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So, I accept both of those things that you said, and thank you for your comments. But once again, increase social media engagement. 1 is consistency. 2 is add value, and 3, be authentic. You got to be your authentic self. Okay. And then once you got those 3 things, and once you're being consistent and adding value and being yourself, what tools do you use? Well, I use IG Reels, Instagram Reels, and I do lives. And I always say that one helps out the other, right? The IG Reels helps out the lives help out the show helps out the Reels. I mean, it's just a vicious cycle in order for people to know what you do, because people want to rely on people gravitate to people that they know or that they're comfortable with. Okay, so but if you only do one of those 3 things, I think it takes longer to start resonating with people, right? So that's why I do multiple things. That's why I post daily, because I want people to know, first of all, what I'm talking about, right? And I'm here for, questions and things like that. I'm here to assist, hotels and not all hotels, right? Because let me be specific. Then you always want to make sure you're specific to whoever you're trying to reach to. Which hotels do I want to help? Do I want to help everybody? I do, but I know I can't, right? And I always go towards the hotels that I'm comfortable with, meaning the ones that I worked with before. And my hotels were 3 diamond, maybe 4 diamond hotels, right? And independent hotels, right? So boutique hotels that still meet that same criteria. So when we're talking about the high 4 diamond, high 5-star, well, that's not me, okay? Because that's not where my experience comes from. I can do whatever, right? But My sweet spot, if you will, would be the boutique hotels, independents, because I've worked at several independent hotels, and the brands that are the three diamond brands. I've worked at, Marriott, Courtyards, full service hotels too, but the smaller ones, or like I said, the three diamond hotels, which there's more of those than the other hotels. Okay, let's just throw that out there now, because some people will three diamond, and people always get the stars mixed up with the diamonds. Okay, hotels in the States, and I believe in Canada as well, are rated on diamonds, okay, not stars, diamonds. And AAA, are the ones, or the organization that actually does that, okay? I mean, that's the old way of doing things. I mean, but it's still being done. But, with TripAdvisor and the OTAs, they started rating things in stars, and now it's all screwed up, and people think, oh, well, it's a 3-star, it's a 5-star. I'm like, what do you mean it's a 5-star? What kind of, where'd you stay? I stayed at the Courtyard. Well, okay, to me, I know that like I said, I'm looking at things in diamonds, right? A Courtyard cannot be a 5-diamond hotel. It's a 3-diamond hotel. That's just based on the services. That's what it is. But TripAdvisor and the OTAs, they take the guest reviews into consideration. How did you feel during this? What happened here? What happened there? So they take all these categories, and which is fine. That's fine, right? But it just kind of skews things. For a hotelier, me, okay, I know the difference between the stars and the diamonds. Okay, so I'm always going to say, it's a 3-diamond hotel, or it's a 4-diamond, or it's a 5-diamond. Okay, so my sweet spot are not in stars. My sweet spot are in diamonds. So my sweet spot, the independent hotels, branded hotels that are 3 diamonds, maybe to a 4, because I did work in at least several 4-diamond hotels. So anyway, so that's what I'm talking about. So hope I didn't confuse anybody, but hotels are in the States are rated in diamonds. Okay, and I'm gonna leave that one alone. So using IG Reels and Lives are my suggestion. And if you want to know how to do that, just let me know, and I'm here for it. What's going on with LinkedIn? So last week I mentioned this, right? Long videos, they don't want that, right? The algorithms, it's more than one. They don't want long videos, okay? So, but what last week? Okay, so I have to tell you this, right? So you guys know that I changed from LinkedIn Live, doing a live show, to YouTube. This is live on YouTube, right? So what I did was I posted the video from YouTube onto LinkedIn, because the reason why I left LinkedIn to go to YouTube was because I wasn't getting the engagement that I used to get, right? So what I did was change, and I posted this same video, or last week's video, onto LinkedIn, and I got like triple the amount from the previous posting, okay? So from the previous show, I got triple. I got almost 1,000 views on that last show. When the show before that, I only got 100 and less than 150. So what is that? So okay, but I'm gonna do it again today, because on the heading, or the headline will say, why did I leave LinkedIn? So of course when people see that, they're like, well, let me check this out. Let me click on that and see. So I'm not gonna do that today, because it's no reason to do it, because I already left it. I can't use that same heading again, right? So we'll see today. When I post this after today, and then going into next week's show, I'll let you guys know if I still got the same numbers, or were they less, were they more? Because like I said, I'm all about doing this market research on my own, just to see, where I'm missing out on, right? So if I see that I'm missing out on something, well, you have to change things. You just can't, I'll get this, these are the results that I'm getting. Well, if you get used to the same results, you're doing the same things, you're going to get the same results, right? So I'm not about that, because I wouldn't do that for a client, right? So if I'm doing something for a client, and the client's brand is only getting, very minimum results, when I know they should be getting more, well, I'm going to change some things up. So why wouldn't I do that for my own brand, right? So you have to do these things. You have to change things, reword things, do different videos, whatever you need to do. If it's the short videos are not doing it for you, and they want long videos, or if long videos are not doing, they want short videos. Well, then you got to change it, right? So it's a good thing that I have relationships with people that I can talk to, and they'll let me know. So Sebastian, who was in Switzerland, I know I've mentioned this. He's like this LinkedIn expert. So I asked him this question. He told me, he said, "Hey, long videos are whack. They don't want them. Sharing links, they don't want that either." So I'm like, okay, I won't share anyone's links. I'll have to just copy and paste it onto my page, right? I won't share the links with other people. That's what they don't like, okay? And long videos, I will condense those other than the show. So I'm going to see if the show, doing it on another platform, because obviously doing it live on LinkedIn didn't do me any favors, and I thought it would. If I'm doing a live show on that platform, shouldn't I get more engagement than if I did it on another platform and then posted it on there? That's how I think. And correct me. I mean, am I crazy? Maybe I'm the wolfish. I don't know. But anyway, like I said, I'm gonna do my own market research, and I'm gonna see. And then I just mentioned last week's posting. So okay. So we're good on that one. What time is it? Guys, it's already after 2:00. I be talking, huh? Woo, man. Who's hiring? Let me get to that part. Who's hiring? Embassy Suites, LA, Glendale. It's in LA, but it's the Glendale section of LA. Well, Glendale is actually a suburb of LA. But anyway, Embassy Suites, Glendale. They're looking for a GM, general manager. Westin Anaheim Resort. They're looking for an assistant front office manager. The Sheraton Park Hotel in Anaheim. They're looking for operations manager. Hilton Checkers, downtown LA. I love that property. Hilton Checkers. They're looking for a GM. I used to know the GM there. It was a young lady that was there. I can't think of her name, but gosh, okay, so she's not there anymore. Okay. Hotel June in LA, which is right north of LAX. They're looking for a director of sales and events. I love that property. Westdrift. Now, this is my favorite. Okay. Hands down, this is my favorite hotel in LA. Okay. The Westdrift Hotel in Manhattan Beach. They're looking for a director of operations and a senior catering manager. Okay. Westdrift is actually in Manhattan Beach. Okay. It's on Rosecrans. I like it. Why do I like it? It's kind of spread out. It sits on like one of those executive golf courses, like 9 holes or whatever. I just think it's just nice. It has that kind of California vibe to it. When you come to California, you're looking for a California vibe, right? The lighter colors, the sandiness, I don't know, just the lighter colors. It ain't makes it sandiness. I don't know what that even means, but it looks like California. Okay. So yeah, palm trees, water, little feng shui, I like it. So the West Drift Hotel, they're looking for director of ops and a senior catering manager. So just go to this. These are all on Indeed.com, INDEED.com. Check it out. 9 meat eats. Hey, I went to this pizza place, vegan pizza place, right? Was it vegan pizza? All of it? No. Well, they had probably half their menu was vegan, and then the other half was regular stuff, right? But of course, I got the vegan pizza. It's called Purgatory Pizza. Okay, Boyle Heights, which is just east of LA. It's kind of like East LA, if you really, because Boyle Heights is right there, right? But love the vibe in this place. I mean, just a cool vibe. In fact, go to my Instagram page, and there's a little video in there just kind of showing you the layout of the place. But the people are cool, area's fine, pizza was good. And, it's hard to find now, cheese that melts consistently. Now, when I first started this journey 3 years ago, as far as being a vegan or plant-based, cheese was probably the thing that really ticked me off because it didn't melt like the regular cheese, right? Well, now manufacturers of, cheese makers that are heavily doing vegan cheeses and plant-based cheese, they figured out the secret sauce, right? So now the cheese is melting better. They got vegan mozzarella and provolone and all these different types of cheeses. So that's not an issue anymore, because before that was an issue, right? But this one, yeah, it melts just like you would not even know that it wasn't. Well, just from the look of it, you would know that it was a vegan pizza. Okay. Now the taste may be, you may like, is that sausage or what kind of sausage is that? You'd be like that maybe, but it was very good. So I would definitely go back. Then I hear the guy I go with, JT, I go with, he says, well, so this is Saturday when we go, right? And he says, well, I was just at this place in Culver City that was called Double Zero Pizza. It's a vegan pizza place. I'm like, well, dude, why'd you tell me that? We could have went last night. He said, no, the pizza is always good any day. He said, I can eat pizza every day. I'm like, okay, all right, well, let's just go check this out. So we're going to try Double Zero too. But I checked out, a cousin of mine posted, now I've never been to one, but it was a vegan sushi place. I mean, the sushi looked amazing. And one thing that I missed, and someone was asking me a couple of weeks ago, like, what do you miss? Being a plant-based eater, what do you miss the most? And I said a spicy tuna roll. Sushi, I love spicy tuna rolls. So if there's one thing I missed, it would be that. Well, then I see a cousin of mine posted some pictures of him at a vegan sushi place. And they had I don't know what it's made of, but it's spicy tuna. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going there. So it's on the list for this week. It's in Long Beach, the LBC with Snoop Dogg there. So I'm going there this weekend. So, JT didn't know this yet, but he got to drive, right? He's going to drive to Long Beach. We roll to Long Beach, the LBC. So you'll see that. So yeah. So pizza, Purgatory Pizza, Boyle Heights, which is east of downtown LA, and they got vegan pizza by the slice. Okay, you don't have to buy a whole pizza. Just go in there and get you. I got me like 3 slices, ate them all, had a beer, done. So okay, so there you go. Boy, we're running low on time. But it's my show, so I can keep going. I'm a brand show. So these are things that I do. And I'm a brand show off, which just means basically I do content creation. I show off your brand, or I show off my brand too. But my job is to show off your brand, right? So when you see that I'm a brand show off, that's what that means, right? So if you're a hotel, you're a tourism board, or non-meat eats, I'm going to show you off, okay? That in a way that only I can do it, right? So your personality goes into your postings, right? Your content creating, right? So it's always going to be unique, because I can only come up with the stuff, that I can come up with, because God knows what's in my head, right? So it won't be like anyone else's, I can tell you that. Hotel site selection. So I work with companies and organizations to help them find the proper hotel, or the right hotel for their meeting, convention, retreat, whatever that is. It can be a business meeting. It can be a family reunion. It can be anything, retreats, conventions, conferences. So the 10 to 1,000 rooms on peak, right? 10 a room is considered a group, okay? So I do that. And then, of course, I'm a hospitality or hotel show host, top 30 podcast for Hospitality 2021. And then I'm in the top 25 of social media influencers in the hospitality space for 2021. So I thank the International Hospitality Institute for that distinction. I appreciate that. So of course I have to show that every week, right? So like I said, it gets back to that. Who's your best brand advocate? I am, because I'm showing these things, right? Now, if I wasn't a good brand advocate of my own brand, you think I'd be showing this stuff? This is like a brag page, right? Like in hotels, when the catering departments, right, they had like this brag book. It was a book that had all the comments, is like cards that thank you cards that like clients would send us, right, for their catering function. If they're a bride or whatever, they'll send out these letters, and we'll put them all in a binder, right? And we called it a brag book. So when other clients came in, potential clients, they would look in that brag book and say, oh, they had a great wedding and this and that, or Russell was good, but he was great, blah, blah, blah. That's what it is. It's a brag book. So, of course, this is my brag page here, okay? So I just thought I'd throw that on there. People are like, boy, he can just turn anything into something, right? But anyway, how do you get a hold of me? Russell at russellofhotels.com is my email. Social media at Russell of Hotels. That's well, I guess that's LinkedIn too. But LinkedIn more at Russell Edmond. Okay, that's my name. Russell L. Edmond. That's my official name, government name. Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter at Russell of Hotels, right? I want to be specific about that. One thing I always say to ask yourself, this used to be three things, now it's only one. What are you doing to keep your brand relevant? What are you doing? So whatever that means to you, what are you doing? I'm not going to go over the SSI scores today because I'm running out of time. Well, I'm not running out of time, but I don't like going too far over an hour, and I'm already like an hour and 11 minutes. But I'm winding down now, so just be patient with me. My three P's. What are my three P's? Purpose, passion, and perseverance. So either, purpose. Know why you do what you do. Okay, what's the reason why you're doing this? Why am I doing this show? What is this on air with Russell of Hotels? Why do I do this? Why did I start this? It had to do with me wanting to get my brand out there. So that first and foremost, I wanted to get my brand out there, and I'm like, well, can I do a podcast? I'm like, yeah, but I took it a step further and did a video show. It's a hospitality talk show. So that's what this is, right? So, and it's another way for hospitality people to come on and talk about why did they get into the industry? Did they choose hospitality, or did hospitality choose them? And they can talk about their brand, either the brand which is them or the brand they happen to work for. Okay, so then you know what their purpose is, right? And you get to know them on their personality, kind of on a personal level, right? So that was the purpose for the show. And Dylan says, the day is young, let it ride. Okay, I will, Dylan. I'm taking that advice. So that's the purpose. So that was the purpose behind this. It was just me wanting to elevate my brand, wanting to get my name out there, be consistent, let people know that I'm people call it a thought leader or whatever. Okay, it's another name for, I guess, an influencer. I think I like thought leader better. You know what I mean? But some people will call that thought leader an influencer in the space. Okay, whatever, however you want to put it, spin it, twist it, whatever, that's fine. But the reason for me was to elevate my brand, let people know what I was doing, and then give people a platform to come on and talk about what they did. Okay, so passion. Either you have it or you don't. Okay, you can tell by anyone that's doing a talk show or a podcast, anyone on TV, on the radio, if they have a passion for what they're doing, right? How they carry themselves or how they engage in something. You know if they have that passion for what they do. And if you don't have the passion, then do something else, okay? Get out of that and do something else. That's all I can say, right? So hopefully people can see it's not just about me talking, it's about that feeling that you can see, right? The feeling behind the words that I'm throwing out there, that there's some passion there, right? And they're just out there just, I'm a hotel person. No, I used to be a hotel person, and I left in 2017 to do this, and I'm still supporting the hospitality industry, right? That's passion, right? I do this every week, and if I could, I'd probably do it, every day, but it has to come into time, right? Maybe I don't have the time to do it, but I definitely have the passion to do it, every day. But, once a week is good for now. That's why I do the lives, to kind of support this. And that's why I do some of the social media postings, right? Perseverance. Be consistent. Continue to evolve. Don't give up and swerve when you need to. That means I'm in it, swerving. I see it in the horizon, right? I see whatever issues are in the horizon. And I choose to either go left or go right. I don't want to go head into it, right? Because that's going to be a problem. Now, pivoting, that's that P word that people use. I think it's overused, right? That means you're already in the mess, right? You saw the mess and you didn't swerve around it. You stayed in it, and you're like, well, what do I do now? Should I go left or should I go right? Backwards or forward, right? So there's a difference to me in swerving and pivoting. Okay, so I choose to swerve on air with Russell of Hotels. We will swerve. We will not pivot. Okay, so man, see, like I said, I just pulled that out, right? I didn't, I'm not reading that, I just pulled that out. So, oh wow. Anyway, the one more time with the sponsorship, my Nicaragua Agua Resort in Nicaragua. So for the people that are on the podcast, you can't see it, but I'm just showing some pictures of this beautiful resort in. It's called the Agua Resort in Nicaragua, and I'm gonna go there. Let's see, maybe before the end of the year, I'm going. Okay, so I will keep you posted on that, of course. But before the end of this year, I will be there to check it out because like I said, a group of mine is going there, and I got to go there before they go. Okay, so I just can't let them go, and I haven't been there, right? So, but I have a year because they don't go till November of 23. So, but my goal is to do it before the end of this year. Maybe in the summer. I don't know. I have to look at some dates, but I'm gonna make it there, and you guys are welcome, right? So if you guys want to go, you want to come with, I'll do a show from there. Yeah, let me know. Okay, let us know. We can all go together, right? Didn't just have to be me. We can all go together, have a good time, have some of that good Nicaraguan hospitality, and they have great rum too. So if you're a rum drinker, they have great rum. Okay, not that I drink rum all the time. I'm like a rum aficionado, expert. I'm not, but I taste rum from especially the islands like the Jamaica and Cuba, Bahamas, Puerto Rico. They all have their own different types of rum, but Nicaraguan rum, even Costa Rica has rum, but it's not like the Nicaraguan rum. So, that's alone people will be like, hey, I want to go try the rum. Okay, there you go. But anyway, that's it. I think that's all I got. I want to thank Dylan, Stacy, my brother, Lonnie Wolf. I want to thank everyone for joining, whoever else is listening who didn't say anything. And just feel free, like I said, feel free. This is a show where you can make your comments. Like I said, at the worst case scenario, I'll just say your name. If you just want, let's just say you just want a shout out. And you can do that, right? Just put your name and where you work, right? And I'll do that, right? I'll throw it out there. So that's the worst thing that's going to happen, right? So feel free. Like I said, I encourage the engagement. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate the people that listen. Even if you don't make comments, I appreciate it. We're going to do this again next week. I got Miss Michelle Carlin on the show next week. Now, Michelle has been on here. She told me she's been here the most, right? Like I'm trying to think of someone that been on Johnny Carson a lot. So she's like, I'm like Johnny Carson, and she's like Lily Tomlin. Lily Tomlin used to be on Johnny Carson show all the time, right? People are like, who is Johnny Carson and who is Lily Tomlin? Okay. So, but Michelle Carlin, she's gonna be on. She's gonna talk about her business, what's been going on. She's a business coach. What is the name of her? I'm not even gonna say that. But yeah, she'll be on next week. Michelle Carlin will be on next week, and we're gonna catch up on some things. And just talk about what she's been working on and how she can help your business. Right? She's helped me out before, and it's gonna be cool. So you guys take care. Have a great week. Let me get some music going on here. You guys take care. Have a great week, and I'll see you soon.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.